Hello YouTube! I am Penstar, and this is Renowned Explorers Let's Look Episode 2. So in our last episode, our teen girl squad kicked some butt, took some names, got a whole crap ton of resources, and now comes the fun part. Not that the previous part was not fun, but this is a different flavor of fun. The strategic spending of these resources to better ourselves and prepare for our next expedition. Now, the order of operations here is critical because some things that you get, some things that you upgrade or buy or obtain or whatnot will buff other things that can also be done during the session. So it behooves you to do things in the proper order to maximize your gain. So now looking at here, I want to point out every single this is going back to sort of the beginning. I should have pointed this out. Every single character in the game, when they are the captain, has a special captain's perk. A unique ability, a bonus that only they get and only when they're captain. And Hildegarde here, her perk is campaign tricks. Whenever from every campaign token that we get 2 to 6 extra research. Normally campaign tokens don't generate any research, and you have to rely on study tokens to do that. But now, as we can see here, in addition to getting 10 to 15 status, we get 2 to 6 research. That's almost as good as a natural study token, which gives you 4 to 6 research. So we want to hyper-focus our efforts on getting as many of these campaign tokens as possible, both on in the world map section and off of it. Let me turn the music down. Seems to have turned itself back up. Oops. Settings, audio. Turn you down just a smidge. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. The first point of order is to spend one of our resources, which is status. Now, status comes in a couple of different flavors, or rather what you can do with it. First you have, well, it comes in 2 main flavors, helpers and specialists. Helpers are entourage people that you can buy that will give you buffs to your various things. So, for example, lobbyists here give us an extra 1 to 3 status from every campaign. That's really useful. Especially since we're going to be getting a lot of campaign tokens. So we're going to want to buy some of these and you pay for it with status. Now notice here that the cost increases. So our second lobbyist is going to be that, and now that's all we can do until we upgrade our specialist slot here, which actually I think we're going to go about doing. Because there's a little synergy I have in mind here. Another thing we can spend is our research. And research can be spent on, once I get that there, research papers. Now, right now, on our first expedition, you're only allowed to tap into 2 different trees. Observations and history. Now, since history is all about status, and we want lots of status, we are going to be going down the history tree. Now, just starting the history tree will give us, it will cost 40% less status to upgrade our status, well, store, if you will. So buying this before we upgrade the store will give us an immediate benefit from that. So we're going to go ahead and unlock history. Now, our first perk that we're interested in here is Historian. We get 5 campaign tokens immediately, and a new lobbyist joins our entourage. We already have 2 lobbyists, but here's the thing. If we go back here, the lobbyists get more and more expensive the more and more we recruit. But that free lobbyist that we're going to get is going to be free no matter what the normal cost is. So it actually would behoove us to get more lobbyists now and then get our freebie. Not only will it make our freebie lobbyists count for basically more, because that's all the more we're not going to be spending on it, but it's also going to boost those 5 campaign tokens that we're going to immediately get with that technology. So we're going to go ahead and spend the 30 to upgrade here. That gives us 1 more lobbyist available to purchase, and we are going to purchase them. Boom! I'm not going to upgrade and get another lobbyist, because we have other things that we want to get here. So, with that being done, we can now safely and securely go back here to research and get our historian's tech here. Now, the research tech that costs go up incrementally as well, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. But this one's only 15. We've got 135, so we can go a few techs deep here. So historians, boom, and look at that. We just got a whole butt-ton more status because we got those tokens, and actually we got more research because those tokens, those campaign tokens, give us research. So we actually, I think we ended up with more research than we were at when we bought that tech. Granted, our next one's going to take 25, but that's still good to have. Now, what do we have here? Attitude when encounter, that's fine. But we also have this lecture expert thing here. Gain 1 extra token from study, campaign, or collect when you spend insight on the world map. And now the music is still kind of loud here. Oops. I apologize once again. That's better. All right, so now what is insight? I never explained that. Well, we have 3 insight. Insight is basically things that you can spend to generate more tokens, but on the world map rather than on there. And there's at the beginning anyway, there's lecturing, which generates collect tokens, campaigning, which generates campaigning tokens, and universities, which generate study tokens. Now, given our focus on campaigns here, we're going to want to do some campaigning. But before we do that, we're going to want to give ourselves a little bit of a bonus, because if we look here, now if we were to spend an insight with Amelia, we'd only get 1 campaign. That's really wasteful. We spend 1 insight with Kiwi, same thing, 1 campaign token. But look at this, Hildegarde. Because she's our diplomat, she gets an extra campaign token because she's well good at speaking, and she gets 2 collect tokens. Why? Because of our treasure, the Saxon ring. 2 collect when spending insight with a tactician. Hildegarde is our tactician, so she gets the extra tokens. Now, if we go back here to research, and look at this, 1 extra token from each study, campaign, or collect. We have 2 different flavors. That means 2 extra tokens when we spend that. So we want this lecture expert. Absolutely. Now, is there anything else that boosts lecture? I don't think. Yeah, that's not. This gives us more insight, which gives us more lecture, so we might tap into that. In fact, we probably will. But I want to do our lectures first. Now, there is some wisdom to sort of hoarding the your insight tokens for later, because you can sometimes spend them more efficiently later on. But in this particular circumstance, I think we're going to do turn well, because if we go to campaigning now, we're going to get 3. Oh, gives us 3. It should have given us a second, or rather, should have given us a 3rd collect token. Oh, that's okay. It really should have given us that, but I guess it's just only 1. Well, no matter. The other thing we want to do before we continue on is, because we're going to be getting collect tokens, these merchants. If we get these merchants with our abundant status here, we will get even more gold per those collect tokens. So we're going to want to invest in a couple of them. Yeah, 2 of them. I'm not going to get that 3rd merchant for 80. That's a bit much. Because there's other things I want to spend my stuff on here. But now with these lobbyists, each boosting our campaign tokens, let's look at it. 2 to 6 research, 14 to 27 status, and our collect tokens are 12 to 21 gold. So we're going to get a lot of goodies just by doing these lectures with Hildegarde. So let's spend it. Boom, boom, bing, bing, bing. And don't forget, we're getting science from that too because of her special ability. So that was 1 insight gave us that many resources. That's insane. Let's do it again. Ding, ka-ching, bing, bing, bing. Even better rolls. I mean, they're random each time, but holy crap, this is freaking awesome. I've never gotten this much benefit from insight in the first mission map, but now we have even more gold and even more status and even more research to spend. So the gravy train rolls on. Now then, we can actually get an antiquity. I'd love to finish history if I could, but I also really want to get these exploration records, which is going to involve finishing history anyway. So we're going to try for that. So we want this antiquity insight. Gives us another insight immediately, which we can get for more goodies. So boom. And yeah, all right. So yeah, we're gonna get writing history. 60 research. Oh my God, we can do it. We can do it. We can finish the tree. That is freaking awesome. Okay. Now, as far as our bonus attitude here, I was doing some thinking. We finished that. Remember that sheep encounter where we were being all friendly, but then we did one aggressive attack and that soured the mood and made us aggressive? You know what? Our team here is good at being aggressive and friendly. So by maintaining a friendly stance for most of the encounter and then finishing it aggressive, it's actually pretty probably reliable to finish things aggressively, even if we don't behave like that for most of the battle. So I'm going to choose the buff on aggressive. Boom! So now we get 2 extra campaign when we resolve an encounter with the aggressive stance. Those campaigns are still buffed by all of our followers and our abilities. Yes! And then last but not least, Exploration Records gives us the all-important supplies capacity buff, and also gives us the history completion here, which will give us 15 renown every time we get more helpers. I should have probably saved off on hiring those merchants, but no matter. We'll get that. Boom! So we have now completed history. So every entourage that we buy from here on out will give us 15 renown, which is sort of like the score that you get for the rest of the game. That's huge. Alright, going back here to our helpers, we're going to want to switch gears here and go over here to specialists. Now, we have 2 things here. First, our rank 1 specialists. These are people that give us benefits before, and look at this. Emile the Decorated. 1 extra campaign when you resolve an encounter aggressively. That stacks with our history buff. So we will get 3 campaign if we finish an encounter aggressively. Also, I want to point out here, Hannah Haas, Hildegarde Haas, that must be her mom. That must be her mom. I mean, the resemblance is uncanny. But sorry, Mom, we're going to go with Emile. Bing! Now, let's see what our rank 2 specialist has. Let's see. Plus 1 or 2 collect whenever a rogue succeeds. We don't have any rogues on the team. Campaign whenever a quick thinker succeeds. We don't have quick thinkers. And archaeologists. And we also gain an archaeologist architecture or legends perk. So this person would not only give us some bonus study to our archaeologist, we'd be able to buff Amelia to do that. So that might not be a bad idea. And also help us out with those perks, or those checks. So you know what? I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to buy Dr. Hildegarde. And Amelia will learn the archaeologist. And since she has excavation, let's do architecture. Now, so now she has 2 things. Now, getting that study token is not quite as powerful as getting a campaign token, but again, we don't have any quick thinkers on the team, so this person would not work for us that well. All right, 39. We're 1 off. Oh, wait, hang on. We can spend. We've got 1 more insight to spend. Wonderful. So now we're up to 100. We can get more entourage. Why don't we pick up a journalist and a trader? That will spend it perfectly and give us some extra goodies from encounters. And also give us some more renown because of our history bonus. Look at our renown. It's getting higher and higher. Just from doing stuff here. And our supplies limit's up to 10 now. Beautiful. Well, there's only one thing left for us to really do at this point, and that is spend our gold. And boy, how do we have some good, healthy amounts of gold. So let's go shopping, shall we? Now, each person here can wield 3 items. A trinket, a weapon, and a defensive item. And the items that our people here start with are, well, junk. They are complete garbage, so we want to do this. Now, my suggestion is to prioritize defensive items first, because they are more readily available, or more readily useful. So we're going to sell all these rings here. And we'll get 7 for each of them. Alright. Now, the other thing is, I like to sort of complement defensive items with whatever they're weakest. So, like, Hildegarde here is good speech defense, but crap armor. So we're going to want to get her some decent armor. Prove her survivability. Now, Kiwi's a special case. She's a scout. There's a special item here called boots for scouts only. And those increase their grit, which is basically a chance to completely evade. I want actually a better version of these boots. So I'm actually going to spend the money to upgrade the shop here once. Well, maybe. We'll see. I'll think about it. I'll come back to hers. But Amelia, we also want to have decent armor. Boom. Now, since we're going to be finishing encounters on an aggressive note, we need to up our attack power. Our 3 girls have lower attack power than they have speech power. But Amelia's speech power is the lowest naturally, and she's got a decent attack power. So what I'm going to do, and because her attack is 100% accurate, I'm going to actually take out her speech power focused crap weapon, replace it with a physical attack power weapon, these decent gloves. That'll give her shovel a little bit more of a swing. She's still better at speech than she is attack, but it still helps her out. Now, the other thing I want to do here is give her a trinket. There are 2 trinkets available right now, the compass and the monkey wrench. Now, the compass gives you navigation. Our team already naturally knows navigation, so getting it would be kind of pointless. I mean, it gives you a little protection from enraged, but still. But the monkey wrench gives us something we don't have, an engineer perk. So I'm going to actually give that to Amelia. It also gives her some defense against terrified attacks. So now we've got 200 gold left. If we buy the shop upgrade, we should be able to afford the next level of boots for even better grit. So we'll buy the shop upgrade. And good boots, 150. We have exactly enough for that. Wow, 15 grit plus armor and speech defense. Yeah, we're going to give you some good boots. There you go. We'll leave everyone else's weapons as is. Because, yeah, selling these will not... Actually, you know what? If we sell both of these, we can get one of them something better. And that'll be more than enough to make up for the others. So, yeah. Let's sell both of these books. Or am I going to be a gold short? I better not be. Yeah, I'm going to be a gold short. Dang it. And there's no way I can know of to do that. Alright, well, so I kind of shot myself in the foot there. Because I can't maths properly. I guess I can buy my Exploring for Dummies back. There we go, that's better. Thank you, buyback tab. Alright, we'll upgrade their weaponry a little bit later. Okay, folks, I think... Yeah, this whole episode was nothing but me getting ready. So, if you like this episode and you want to see more, you want to actually see our next expedition, you know what, I think I will continue this Let's Look series, see how far I can get with it. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback's always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstar signing out. See ya.